Hello and welcome back to another video. I'm your host, the Shy Goomba, and today
I'm going to be talking about my predictions for the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2 Direct happening on April 2nd. With Mario Day in the rearview mirror, what new announcements might come with this new Direct? And of course, the big question, when will the Switch 2 and the new Mario Kart release? And will there be any other announcements? Well, you've come to the right place. So stick around because in this video, I'm going to be covering all of it. Or at least all things Mario because, that's literally all I do on this channel. But just before we get into it, I do have to mention one very important thing. And that is to please make sure to super smash that like button, comment down below with your Switch 2 Direct predictions, and most importantly, be sure to subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. I've made all kinds of Mario videos over the past year, and while it's not at all necessary, if you enjoy this video and want to see more like it from me, your subscription would go a long way to help me grow as a creator here on YouTube and to be able to reach an even larger audience. It's absolutely free, and all it takes is just a single click. Plus, a lot of you have commented on my videos saying they're really well made and that I deserve more subscribers, and it truly means a lot to see comments like that. So, if you want to join this amazing community we've been building for the past year, then all you have to do is subscribe. And I'd love to see you here. And on that note, let's get on with the video. So of course, we know about the big highlight of the Direct being the Switch 2. I already made a video predicting 5 new features of the Switch 2, so if you want to see that, it'll be the first link in the description. And while I did cover a lot in that video, there are still some important details shrouded in mystery. For example, the mouse feature. How will it work? Will it run smoothly? How would it impact gameplay, and which games would support it? And which new games could be centered around it? These are all questions I hope to see answered in April. Also, the new square button. There are a few theories going around about it right now, but what is its actual function going to be? A new capture button? Will it activate the mouse feature? Or maybe Nintendo could do something crazy. What if it activated a new voice chat feature? It could be used to turn voice chat on and off, or it can be used to mute or unmute yourself. The possibilities for this new button are seemingly endless, so let me know what you think down in the comments. And just before we move on from the Switch 2, there's one other thing. The new USB-C port on the top of the console. Now, it's possible its only function is to more easily charge the system in tabletop mode while using the kickstand. Thank you for making it bigger, by the way. But there's been rumors flying around that the Switch 2 will actually be reversible, in that you can somehow play upside down, with the Joy-Cons attached to the opposite sides of the console. I'll be honest though, I don't know how it'll work or how it'll be any different of an experience as opposed to playing normally, but I guess only time will tell. Also, this is just a rumor at this point, so don't take any of that as factual information until Nintendo directly confirms it themselves. Anyway, moving on to Mario Kart. This new game is promising to be the biggest in the series despite only being shown off for a few seconds. First off, there's 24 player races now, which is insane. But it also means we need a beefy character roster to go along with it. I covered this and a bunch of other topics in another video where I made the perfect Mario Kart game, which, keep in mind, was made before it was officially announced. So if you want to check it out, it'll be the second link in the description, just under the Switch 2 predictions video. But enough of what we knew then, let's talk about what we know now. The only new track we saw is seemingly called Mario Bros. Circuit, and will likely be the first track of the first cup, the Mushroom Cup. Now, if you're watching this video, that probably means you've heard every analysis on the internet, so I'm not going to bore you with all that. Instead, however, I'm going to attempt to predict every single track in the game. Now, I might hear you asking, but Shy, how are you possibly gonna predict every track in the game? You don't even know how many there are. And yes, while that's true, I do have a bit of a game theory about this. You see, if we look closely into the distance of Mario Bros. Circuit, we can see that the general silhouette of the rocky landscape in the background resembles that of the common mushroom. And since this track is most likely the first in the game, it would reside in the Mushroom Cup. You see where I'm going with this? What if every track, or at the very least the first track of each cup, is based around the theme of the cup itself? So for example, the first track of the Flower Cup could be based on the Fire Flower Fields from the Mario movie as kind of like a reference to it. The Star Cup could have a Mario Galaxy theme, and who knows what's in store for the Special Cup. Or I could just be way off on all this, but we won't really know for sure until we have official confirmation from Nintendo. Also, any thoughts on whatever this is? Well, let me know down in the comments. I read every single one, and I'll try to respond to as many as I can. Well, that's it for everything we know about the Switch 2 Direct. But don't go anywhere. I'm not done yet, because there's still a lot more Mario left on the table. And the main course is, of course, a new open world 3D Mario game. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I predicted this game for every Direct last year, and spoiler alert, it hasn't been announced yet. But the Switch 2 is going to be massive, and with it needs to come some massive games like Mario Kart and 3D Mario. Do you know why a new 3D Mario hasn't been announced yet? It's the same reason why they made the Booster Course Pass instead of a new Mario Kart game. They were waiting for Switch 2. And in fact, I'll go as far as to say Bowser's Fury was the Booster Course Pass for 3D Mario. I think they made it solely to tie us over while they make the next big game for both series for the Switch 2. Now, as for the game itself, I know I mentioned it several times before, but I think this is going to be a more open world game similar to Bowser's Fury, where you can just explore the world at your own pace and in no particular order. However, I don't think this new game should retain the design, where it's essentially just linear obstacle courses scattered throughout the world, instead making it more like Mario Odyssey, in terms of just being able to run around a giant kingdom. Picture New Donk City, but like 5 times bigger. Also, if they decide to keep the moons from Odyssey, just make them more of a challenge to get. Like, Bowser's Fury basically handled cat shines perfectly. They weren't scattered everywhere, and they actually required some effort from the player instead of just ground pound here, you get a moon, good job. Like, make them feel valuable instead of a collectible that you could just find anywhere. Coins already serve that exact purpose. I'm not saying don't have moons, just make them feel more rewarding to get. Like, this is something really valuable, and it wasn't just handed to me, I had to earn it. Anyway, that was my moon rant for today. Now, let's move on, I got a video to make here. Now, I will be predicting possible release dates for everything I've covered in this video so far. But, besides all the big announcements, we could also see some smaller Mario games join the party. While I won't go into too much detail like I did with the bigger ones, they are still worth mentioning because you just never know what Nintendo's up to. First up, a new Mario sports game. It could be baseball like I predicted in the past, but this time around, I think it's going to be a new Mario Tennis. The last time Mario hit the courts was in 2018, so it's getting to be tennis time again very soon. We could also see a new Mario & Rabbids game. Sparks of Hope was announced over a year ahead of its release in 2022, and there was a 5-year gap between it and Kingdom Battle. While it's not likely we see it at this Direct, we could be getting our first look at it very soon. And in this rapid fire round of announcements, we have one more game, Luigi's Mansion 4. Now you might be thinking, but Shy, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD just came out last year. What makes you think we're getting another one so soon? Well, the studio that usually develops both the Luigi's Mansion and Mario Strikers series, Next Level Games, actually didn't make the Dark Moon remake. The last game they made was Mario Strikers Battle League in 2022. 3 years after Luigi's Mansion 3 in 2019. And since this year is the 3rd anniversary of Battle League, there's a good chance we see Luigi's Mansion this year. And speaking of anniversaries, Mario's 40th anniversary is also this year. So if they don't announce Luigi's Mansion at the Switch 2 Direct, they will almost certainly announce it in time for the anniversary. Yep, I'm calling it right now. But now, let's get down to business and talk about release dates for everything I've covered in this video, starting with, of course, Switch 2. I see 2 potential scenarios for this. It could release in October, not only capturing the holiday shopping market, but also maintaining the trend of releasing a big Mario game in October. Don't believe me? Take a look at the October games over the past decade. This year would make it the 10th year in a row to have a big Mario game release in October. So, here are my 2 scenarios. Either Mario Kart releases alongside the Switch 2 in October, or, what I think is the more likely option, they release in the summer with 3D Mario coming in October. This would leave room for a smaller game like Mario Tennis to come out early next year, followed by Luigi's Mansion on Halloween, and the 3rd Mario & Rabbids game sometime in 2027. And how much will it all cost? The Switch Lite costs $260, the classic Switch comes in at $400, and the OLED has a hefty price tag of $450. From this information, the Switch 2, being a more advanced console, will probably cost the same or more than the Switch OLED, so I'd say anywhere between $450 and $500. The new controllers most likely wouldn't see that much of an increase, if any. However, the games, I could easily see Nintendo charging $100 for them. As far as I'm aware, Zelda was the first Nintendo game to break triple digits. Of course, not including DLC or, a physical Mario Kart, in which case Smash, both Mario Karts, and Sparks of Hope all blow it out of the water. Anyway, it seems Nintendo has been making higher quality games as of late, especially after the Mario movie, so it wouldn't surprise me if we had to pay a bit more for them. I mean, look at this. There's no way this new Mario Kart will keep the usual $80 price tag. And with that, we've come to the end of my Switch 2 Direct predictions. If you enjoyed this video and you want to help support this channel, let me know by liking the video and commenting down below with your Switch 2 predictions. And of course, I'll be reacting to the Switch 2 Direct on April 2nd, so if that's something you want to see, please be sure to subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. I hope to cover a lot more Switch 2 content on this channel, as well as all things Mario, and community engagement helps me out tremendously with being able to have my videos recommended by the YouTube algorithm to an even wider audience. Even you just watching all the way to the end of this video really does mean a lot to me, and I appreciate every single one of you. So thank you so much for watching, take good care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.